Good morning. Teresa Zube here. I'm going to pull a card. Like some Palo Santo. You can read below for a little more information about me if you're interested. God, I'm in a fucking good mood today, which is nice. Let's see who I want to pull from. I've been like doing this thing where I just pull a card and see what happens. Maybe it's for somebody, maybe it's for me, maybe it's to inspire me to talk about something. I don't know. But I'm gonna do two cards. One from this. You guys, I love this deck. It's one of the first oracles that I got um after I had my tarot deck. And I dig it. So anyway, I hope you're well. I'm well. If you're not well, oh well. This too shall pass, right? We got this fucking scarf. I love scarves, but into the unknown. No shit, right? Although, are we ever really heading into the known? I'm making fun, but seriously, I have that feeling like, where are we going? Where are we going? Solitude. Rest, ponder, quiet, sanctuary. 7-Eleven. I mean, do you spend time alone, like with yourself? When I'm alone, like things are pretty okay. It took me a while to get there though, right? So I do this thing like when I'm peopling, like when I'm out in the world peopling, right? Um, Literally anything that anybody says that gets a rise out of me. And I can honestly say this, at least saying it, like I'm not lying. I really feel like it's true, right? So I'm not like dishonestly representing myself. Although if anybody out there can come up with an example of me not doing this, that's fine too. But everything is about me, right? So like if some isn't that funny? I mean it is, but it isn't. Non-duality, both and more. It is about me, and it's not all about me. But my reactions are all about me. So if somebody says something that I don't like or that I don't agree with or whatever, I find it interesting, right? Like I find it interesting. Um, I'm curious about it. And I'm really curious, especially like if it brings up like anger or um, sadness, or like I'm trying to think of an example. Um, let's say that somebody specifically said something about me, right? Okay, so like somebody said, let me think of something somebody really said about me. Um, Somebody said to me, all you care about is business. Everybody has a business like transaction to you. And it didn't hurt my feelings because it's not true. Um, I understood where they were coming from, right? And so, like, I didn't react to it and I didn't say, that's not true. I was like, well, that's how they're experiencing me. Okay. And I'm like, but it doesn't, okay, right? So, I feel in my body when I'm feeling like something is true, my stomach gets in knots and I get defensive. Um, I felt like, and I had brought up that this person wanted more of me than I had to give, right? Um, yeah, that I just didn't have enough time or space to offer to them. And I give people a lot of time and space, right? So like I don't the bar is pretty weird for me because I don't get to my own children. I don't get to talk to them when I want to. I don't, I only get to see them 4 times a year for 5 days. Like, um, I agreed to a visitation when I was 9 months sober that I think is pretty outdated right now. But I've talked to lawyers and they're, you know, apparently it's a $15,000 to $20,000 problem. So it's going to have to be what it is for now. And so, and I wouldn't really wish that experience on anybody, but at the same time, I am kind of, my meter is like really skewed. And I don't think that makes me an asshole. I think it's eye opening. I think it actually makes me more caring. You know what I mean? When people say things about me or to me or whatever, I try it on. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna try this on and see if it fits, right? Um, and if I find that maybe it does fit, right? Or that I'm like feeling it on the inside or it's something that resonates, I consider whether that's something I want to change, you know? Um, I feel it in, like I go in my heart. Like I try, I think about it in my brain. I mean, come on, we have brains like for a reason. But then I go to my heart and I go to my stomach and I'm like, well, what feels good in there, you know? Um, Other people's experience is all about them. And however they experience me, that's their experience. Like I'm not gonna change that or say that necessarily they're wrong. It might not resonate with how I think I'm operating, um, but it doesn't make their experience of me wrong. But I also don't have to experience them, and they don't have to experience me, right? Where's this going? Solitude. Okay, so, and into the unknown. So, I don't know, get with yourself. Like, I don't argue with people and say, no, I'm not that, or you should be like this, or you should do that. Um, I kind of go around and I'm like, well, not for me. That's not for me, you know. I don't want to experience that. I don't want to be in that experience. Um, into the unknown, though, is into you because I do have to acknowledge, and this is shadow work, and look, she even has a blindfold on. I think that's really cool because it's like she has nowhere to go but into the unknown. It's within, right? As within, so without. And the more comfortable I get with going into me, the more comfortable I feel when I go out into the world, into both unknowns. So the unknown doesn't scare me. I was thinking about this today because I play a little game, right? Whenever something's going on and I start to like get in fear, I play like the well, what if game, you know, or the it could be worse game. And most people don't like to play that. I love that game, right? But I don't do it in like a way that I energetically pull in that experience, like, oh my God, well, this could go wrong and this could go wrong and this could go wrong. But like, well, what if that went wrong? What if I made a horrible decision and I ended up like homeless or whatever? And then I'm like, well, I would sleep in my car. Um, I would still like figure stuff out. I would be okay, right? I would be okay, even if everything wasn't okay. And then I'm like, okay, so what if something horrible happened to my body or I was like imprisoned or whatever? And there's something inside me that would still be okay. There was this scene. I'm not a fancy like video person, so I can't really do it, but there was this scene on uh what is that movie with the the when they're in prison and it's Morgan Freeman. Mm, whatever, the white collar dude, maybe I'll think of it. I cannot think of the name, but like the white collar crime guy, if you've seen that movie, is talking about music and how like music plays in his head, and they're at lunch and he's looking at the other guys and they're like, well, what did you do when he was in solitary? And he was like, well, I just let that music play through my head. He was like, don't you do that? Like, don't you have something that like that they can't take away from you even when you're in solitary, like when you're in solitude, there's something that can never be taken away, right? Like I've got something that could never be taken away. I didn't know that. It was a really hard lesson. I'm not like some fucking amazing person. It was either find it or die, right? And I found it. And some people don't. God, that's just so brutal. Like I get it. I mean, I don't know why I found it. Um anyway, this was long, but I got it out there. If you're going into the unknown anyway, right? Because none of us know what's going to happen. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know that when I thought I was doing the right thing and I asked for help because I wanted to get sober, I didn't know that would mean like that, boom, like that's it. You're not like momming daily, like that, 3 years later, that I lost everything, gave it away, whatever. I mean, it's not here, and that's so not like I, I thought. Well, if I have, if I have heart and I'm persistent and I'm good and I really fix my problem, everything will be okay. Um, even if I have to represent myself, like the judge will have to see like that, but I can't even like get the judge to look at things I file. So like that didn't happen, and so I'm in this unknown and I didn't like it. Like I hated it. I was like, what the fuck? This is gross. I don't like it. I don't like all of this stuff out here. I didn't like what was in here either. I was sober, but I didn't like what was in here. And so So I had to go in here and I had to like it, you know. And I do now. Like she's pretty cool, you know. She's all right. Like, and she always was. Like, she always was pretty cool. She just didn't know what she was doing, and she shouldn't have, you know, until she did. I don't know if that was useful or not. Like, if not, thanks for listening if you're even still here. But um, no matter where you are, it's all unknown, you know, and you can fight the unknown out here, or you can really like get with and be like this unknown can be known a little more, you know. Anyway, love you. That felt good. Peace. Namaste.